Hello and welcome back to my channel. I've been to group this morning, brilliant group, but I'm not going to focus very much on group today because I've got a lot of little headings that I want to cover. First of all, I would like to talk about my results this week after what I had said last week about introducing avocado into my diet. I made the decision to make my sins up to 15 every day by the use of avocado. So on every day this week I have had either 80 or 90 grams, i.e. 8 or 9 sins worth of avocado, and really enjoyed it. Especially like it sliced on rye crackers with a little sprinkling of pink Himalayan salt. Gorgeous. Great substitute for cheese, although I did have cheese every day as well. So I've had 4 healthy extras every day. I have maxed my sins up to 15. I have had a wonderful week of food. I've had some beautiful food. Joe's been making me some incredible frittatas this week, and yeah, I've had some really lovely food. I've limited my fruit to 2 pieces or 2 portions a day. When I say limited, I don't mean deprive myself in any way, because that's actually enough for me today, because I use my fruit as a dessert. I don't snack. I never snack. But again, that's me, that's what works for me. It's not right for everybody. So I've had 2 pieces of fruit every day. I've had my usual portions of sushi and things. I'm still trying it from lots of different places. I have had full fat yogurt this week, and still loving cinnamon, surprisingly. The girl who thought she didn't like it actually does. Had fresh coconut, had coconut flour, eaten papaya and mango and melon of all kinds and conference pears, which I adore, and had a really good and satisfying week of food and plenty of it. Now, what result did that get me? So many times I've watched videos on YouTube where people say it isn't fair, you can't eat avocado and lose weight. You can't eat avocado on Slimming World. I mean, you've all heard that. I'm sure you've all heard it. If I've heard it, you've all heard it. We've probably all said it at some point, or most of us have said it at some point. Well, I'm here to prove that's not true. As I say, 80 or 90 grams every day, which is that half an avocado, Joe? More than half.
Just over half.
Just over half an avocado.
Yeah.
Every day this week.
Maybe like
And
3/4.
about 3/4 of an avocado. And they're usually Aldi or Sainsbury's avocados, so the good middle-sized ones, not small ones. And what did I do? Apart from loving it, I lost 1.5 pounds. I was already out to the bottom of target by ½ pound. I was at 9 stone 3.5, and now I'm 9 stone 2. And I'm not bragging about that, don't get me wrong. I am still finding a balance, want to be back in, want to be 9 stone 4. And I have to say this week, I was all out to prove Joe. I'm pointing at him, I think. Speak so I can point at you. There. I was all out this week to prove Joe wrong, because he keeps telling me and really reinforcing it, it's not fat that makes you fat, Mum, it's sugar. So what did I do last week? I dropped my Muller Light yogurts, which you might think don't contain sugar. Have another read, because I think a lot of the things in there are extremely sweet if they're not true sugars. I dropped my Weetabix. I replaced them with fresh coconut, coconut flour and full fat yogurt. And last week I lost 2.5 pounds. And believe me when I say this, and I really think it's crucial, I do not diet. I do not cut down on my food. I don't cut down on my sins. I don't miss healthy extras out. I don't miss meals. I don't drink more fluid in the hope of washing the fat out of my body. You'd all be disgusted to hear I've had 2 glasses of water this week. That's it, and they're that big. I can't drink water. I don't like it. And I'm not going to make myself just because I think it'll make me lose weight. Otherwise, God knows I'll be drinking green tea before you know it. I've had 4 healthy extras every day. I do not skimp on my food. I have. When the builder walked in the other day to fit me a new worktop in my kitchen, an extra worktop, and saw what Joe had cooked me for lunch, she was like, "My God, I thought you were on a diet." No, I'm not on a diet. I'm on Slimming World. It's a lifestyle. So 1.5 pounds off this week without trying. And I say, I ate everything I could within my meals this week to prove him wrong. And he wasn't wrong. It wasn't fat that was making me fat. It was sugar. And you know, after watching that film last week, and I've actually found another film called Carb Loaded, which is worth watching. I am educating myself. I'm not going clean, I'm not being extreme, I'm loving food, really loving food. And I've never felt so bloody well in my life. I've had so much excess energy this week. And what has the avocado done for me? If anything, I would say the skin under my eyes here, I keep saying this to Joe and he thinks I'm wacky, the skin under my eyes here, I don't use any eye creams or face creams or anything, but that skin feels renewed. My eyes feel fresh. I feel good. My skin is, well, it's generally good, but it's really good. And I'm sure that's because I've added fat into my diet. So cooking with ghee, eating avocado, eating full fat yogurt, and this is what I'm getting. I'm not saying anybody else should do it, but it is actually within the Slimming World plan if you want to. I am not finishing with the Slimming World plan. I'm not breaking the rules. I'm not tweaking it. I'm not bending the rules. I am sticking to plan and it's working. So, yeah.
You also said you felt slimmer down your sides.
Yeah, I said to Joe when we were out walking this morning, what do you call this bit of your body here? It's your obliques, apparently. Well, I reckon all 1.5 pounds this week has come off my belly. And if I read about it, it tells me coconut takes the fat off your belly. Is it myth? Is it legend? Is it the truth? I don't know. But my belly, for want of a better word, has reduced this week because even though the belt that I'm currently wearing on my jeans, when I first started at Slimming World, wouldn't meet by 6 or 7 inches. I had to tighten it this week by 2 holes and I'm now on the last hole on that belt and it's a size 12 belt. That's not dieting, that's Slimming World. Love it. Right, we were in Costa a couple of days ago and Joe dumped me at a table and went off to get the drink. Dumped me. He didn't really dump me. He sat me at a table and went off to get the drinks. When all of a sudden, across the room, somebody squealed, "Jane!" I nearly jumped out my bloody skin. And this woman came running over and she's like, "Oh my God, what have you done? My God, don't lose any more weight." But she was happy and nice and friendly. It was somebody I used to go to church with. I've not seen her for about 7, 8 years because they moved house, moved away from where we live. And she just couldn't believe it. She was like, if I hadn't looked you straight in the face, I wouldn't have known you. And once she died, she was...
Yeah.
And her husband was like really excited. They used to babysit for us when Joe was small. And they were both just absolutely gobsmacked, for want of a better word. And I tell you what, I came out of that place walking on air. I was so glad I had just ordered a double espresso and not a latte or something. I don't drink those anymore. But it was just lovely to have somebody react like that to you who genuinely meant it. And because they haven't seen me for about 7 years, could really see the difference, not just a gradual change. So yeah, that was nice. Even though she did say, don't lose any more weight. I don't know what people think I'm trying to do. I mean, I'm not trying to lose any more weight. I'm not desperate to lose any more weight. I can't. The clothes won't fit me. They'll all be too big. So yeah, that was really lovely. And then to have a husband pay me compliments, and he is quite a straight-laced bloke, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's not the sort of guy who's... The last time I saw him, it must be 7 years ago, and was in a restaurant. And I had just come back from San Francisco and I had put a bit of weight on. And he came over to me and I was with my friends and he didn't even introduce himself. He just went, "Bloody hell, girl, you've let yourself go again." That didn't make me feel as good as he made me feel this week. But he is quite a straight-talking, outspoken man. But yeah, it was nice to be paid compliments by them. So Joe's just going to give me some headings from my list and I'll just work my way through them because I'm in a chatty mood today, but I'm also hungry, so I need breakfast.
Trousers?
Yeah, we went out walking on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night, and it was absolutely tipping it down. And I had on a Berghaus waterproof Gore-Tex jacket and skinny jeans. By the time I got back, all the water had run down my jacket onto my jeans, and my jeans were so wet I couldn't get them off. So you can imagine the picture of me lying on my back on the bed trying to peel off these saturated jeans that were skinnies, really skinny jeans. What a job. I think I did a bit of body magic there, just trying to get them off. Anyway, we decided the next day we would go to Ultimate Outdoors and buy ourselves some Gore-Tex trousers, some waterproof trousers. And they got a sale on. And Joe immediately found himself a really good pair of Berghaus ones. Then started looking for me. Passed me this pair of trousers to try on. And I had thin trousers on because it was a warm day. Pulled them on over my thin trousers and they fit. But I would have said they fit like a pair of trousers, an ordinary pair of trousers would fit on top of my thin trousers. So I was conscious that in the winter, there's no way I was going to get thick trousers or thick jeans or even jogging bottoms under them. So I said to Joe, no, they fit, but I need some space for the winter. And he started to laugh and he went, Mum, they're kids, size age 11 to 12-year-olds. And I said, well, this makes sense because I weigh now what I weighed when I was 11 or 12 years old. Well, less than I weighed when I was 11 or 12 years old. Probably then I would have needed a size 16 and these were kids. Anyway, he then went on to look through the rails and found me a pair of Gore-Tex ones. I can't remember what make they were.
Sprayway.
Sprayway in a lady's size small. And believe me, I will get thick jogging bottoms under those. They fit beautifully. So you can be guaranteed that it won't rain anymore this summer. Now I've got waterproof trousers, the sun will come out. So that was just another one of those non-scale victories that makes you want to smile. Really appreciated that. And we also got them at really fair prices in the sale, which was bonus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next topic?
Home delivery?
Yeah. Is that the right way out?
Yeah.
Has everybody seen these? Can you put that in shot for me?
Just a little bit higher and it's perfect. Yep.
Yeah. Now, there are some things in life that happen and they are devastating things. This to me is one of them. It's bad enough that McDonalds are conveniently situated on every third street corner and that you can drive through. I'm talking from my own perspective when I was a big person. I mean, I've never driven through, but I've got people to drive me through. When I was a big person, it was so easy. You go to McDonald's, you order your food. You can, if you're on your own, I imagine, because I've never been able to do it on my own being blind, it's an easy option, isn't it? I've heard girls share this on YouTube. You drive through McDonald's, you buy food for 2 or 3 people, then you go park up and eat it. I used to do a similar thing with the fish and chip shop. Go in, place my order and then go, wonder what my husband would like. I didn't have a husband, but you know the scenario. So it's bad enough that you can drive through McDonald's on your way home from work when you've had a bad day and you're feeling tired or pissed off, and you can eat that rubbish. And I don't say that lightly, I do believe it's rubbish today. Thank God I had a kid who wasn't that bothered. Apart from you did like the odd Big Mac when you were young, didn't you?
Yeah. It's the mayonnaise on it. It's the relish.
The
Not
relish.
bothered about anything else. And Aldi's relish,
It's just the
which
same.
is fairly reasonable on Sims, their pickle relish actually tastes like McDonald's. So
Yes,
it's
it
like
does,
you're not
you're right.
bothered.
Yeah. So I never really had cause to go to McDonald's unless I found a reason, and believe me, I could. And I liked Big Macs back in the day. But today, I wouldn't feed that food to my children or my child or myself. But the fact that they now deliver. Now I'm thinking back to when I used to have my binge mornings. When Joe was a baby, while he was asleep, I used to eat. And God forbid him if he woke up early, he could wait. I hadn't finished eating. And I mean that seriously. I'm ashamed to say it, but I mean it. How dreadful is it? Oh, I think it is. That you can actually be having a bad day at home with your blinds closed or your curtains closed and ring up and have them deliver the rubbish to your door. That saddens me. It really saddens me. Where are we going with food? When I was a child, a long time ago, because I am 60, we ate 3 meals a day. That's what I try to do today, because my family, my grandparents and everything, there were no weight problems back then. People ate proper food. As processed food crept in the 70s, and then takeaway food through the 80s, 90s has grown and grown and grown. They're making it so much easier for people like me. I am a compulsive overeater. I am a binge eater. I am a comfort eater. By the grace of God and Slimming World, I don't do any of those things today. But if you're falling back into that place because of life happening or life getting in the way, and you can't say no to yourself, how much easier is it to ring up and order a McDonald's than to have to actually get off your backside, get out of your pyjamas and drive and get one? They're just making it easier. There's a pandemic of obesity in the world today, and things like that just make it worse. And I just think when that fell through my letterbox, that makes me sad. So yeah, maybe you'll need it. Maybe you'll need a McDonald's delivery and it might help you. But I'm just grateful today that I don't. I really don't. So, next, Joe.
Avocado saver?
Yeah, we were in John Lewis. It was Monday, was it? Early in the week anyway. Might have been, no, it was last Sunday. And because I was eating kind of half a large avocado, or just over, and because Joe, or him indoors as I'm going to call him, Joe eats 1 or 2 avocados every day and was also finishing off my leftovers, but not wanting to finish it off necessarily when I was eating it. So we found this. Is that in shot?
Yeah, it's perfect.
This is avocado saver, and it works, doesn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it's great.
We've looked over the months because of the amount of avocados Joe eats. I think we bought 20 avocados this week, you know. But it could be worse. Could have been 20 cans of Coke. Because we eat avocado regularly, it seemed like a good thing to buy, and we said, well, try it. It might not work. Avocados, what's the word? They oxidise if you don't keep them in something airtight. And this really worked. Now, in John Lewis at the moment, these are reduced to £2.43. As a young lady, I've put one in the post too, so it'll be with you in a couple of days. And brilliant. But just something so simple. I mean, we have a lemon saver because of the half lemons that we generally have each day and things like that. But very, very useful thing, and it really does keep your avocado fresh. The other thing I've got in my hand, you'll see these in the chemist. Ours came from Superdrug, didn't they?
Yeah.
Little screw top pots, which are designed for, I think, when you're going on holiday, to put small quantities of cream or maybe tablets or whatever people need. Joe bought these because we use them when we're out and about. Sometimes we'll be out and we come across a place that doesn't do decaf coffee. And Joe only has 1 caffeinated coffee in the morning, and the rest of the time he drinks organic decaf. And if we go to my mum's, my mum doesn't, she does have it now because you bought her some, didn't you? But my mum wouldn't have coffee that Joe could drink, or we may be visiting a friend, or we may just be in a cafe or restaurant and they don't all have decaf that he can drink. So we got into the habit of just putting a teaspoon of coffee in one of these, and it's always in the bottom of Joe's backpack, or there's one in my handbag. Really useful. And they have no problem in places like Costa, because Joe can't drink their decaf, of you actually just getting hot water. I mean, they've seen Joe do it. They're quite comfortable. They know us in there. So another tip. But they're also really good for salad dressings. And I've watched Debbie SW. She inspires me when she goes out for a meal and takes the extra bits she needs with her, so a balsamic vinegar or whatever. Because so often we'll go for a salad and we'll say, can we have the dressing on the side? And I've been with friends on Slimming World who do this. And then they eat the bloody dressing anyway, so what was the point of having it on the side? Stick it on the salad and enjoy it. You're kidding yourself. I believe today, I'd be kidding myself. So if I want to take a salad dressing in there, I can take, probably that might hold 2 tablespoons if you wanted it to.
Maybe even more.
I'm not sure how many mils it holds. I'm prepared, and I am not throwing away sins, because even if you go somewhere like Subway and you ask for the dressing on the side, you're not measuring it, you're guessing. It's a guesstimate or a best and estimate. I can't do that today because I am an all or nothing person, and I like to be spot on. If it says you count it, I'll count it. And even if it means going over my sins, I'll count it. So, they're good. I think in Superdrug they're are they about 50p or something? They're not much more, are they?
They're on offer, but I can't remember.
I think they were 3 for £1 last time we bought some.
Yeah, maybe.
Worth having, because even if you don't use it for your salad dressings, you know, you can always take a bit of cream out if you need a bit of cream for your spots or something. Whatever people use it for. I'm sure that, you know, if you've got a
They're
baby...
useful.
Well, if you've got a baby and you've got a
Yeah.
baby bag, put a bit of Sudochrome in it. They're just handy little things for all sorts of uses. So we found those useful this week. Next.
Car versus bus versus tram.
Yeah, my mileage this week has gone up fractionally. I'm up to 42.89. That wasn't a planned thing. It's just that we had to go into the city 2 days this week, which is unusual for us now. We spent one session in the city walking around the sales, didn't we, the ladies still. I think we did about 8,000 doing that, 8,000 steps. Got some nice stuff in the White Company and had until Joe gets fed up, he'll tolerate it for so long, won't he?
Yeah.
But you know, like men, he's not really into shopping. But when you've got a blind mum and you're a nice person, you do help out. So a couple of days we had to go into the city, which is unusual, which pushed the mileage up a bit. But generally we walk from place to place. We do our morning walk to get an appetite for breakfast, and we walk after dinner at night if we're both here, because it helps digest your dinner and you sleep better. If one or the other of us is not here, then we don't do it, because I need Joe to go out with me. He doesn't need me to go out with him. And if he's out doing something else, then I don't do it. But the mileage went up a bit this week because we're finding that there are occasions when we can walk instead of being idle. Now, when we go to the supermarket in the car, Joe parks at the very, very furthest away parking space. In fact, I think in Sainsbury's he now has his own space, because nobody else would park that far away from the shop, would they? And he even does it if it's raining. You don't get let off. So we get extra steps because we walk the full length of the big car parks. When we go to Aldi, there's an overspill car park, which is like for Christmas and times like that. We park at the far end of that, don't we, Joe?
Yeah.
Because it's
Why not?
better. Well, it's healthier
It
to
only takes
walk.
a couple of, maybe a minute or so extra to walk
Yeah.
across the car park,
And
so why not?
If I'm prepared to walk, he's prepared to carry the bags of shopping, and it works for us. Now, I was talking to a lady during the week, a friend from group, and she said to me, I drove past the end of your close the other day and your car was on the drive. So I thought you must be in. I said, well, not necessarily. It doesn't mean we're in. It just means Joe hasn't put his car away. But we got talking about bus versus tram versus car versus whatever, because parking in Nottingham is now very, very expensive. You can go shopping and park and it'll cost you best part 10 quid to park. I'm lucky I've got a blue badge, it's free for 4 hours. But we don't even take advantage of that. So we worked it out. It's 50 steps to the garage, right? It's about 250 steps to the nearest bus stop, or it's about 2,000 steps to the nearest tram stop. We can get a tram into town, which is a fast journey because only 4 stops. They don't stop like buses do. But if we walk 2,000 steps to the tram stop and 2,000 steps when we come back from town, it helps. And you feel like, well, you actually feel like you're achieving something. It would be too easy for us now to just walk 50 steps and get in the car. So that's just my encouragement to people, even if it just means getting off one bus stop earlier or parking at the other end of the car park, it's worth doing because you feel better for it. So yeah, that was my experience this week. So car versus bus versus tram. For us, unless we absolutely have to take the car, we use the tram or we walk. Yep. Anything else?
Shout out.
I want to give a shout out to a really nice young lady that I've come across on YouTube. Her name's Rebecca Shaw, and Rebecca's commented a few times on my videos, and I hadn't realised very quickly that she actually has a channel of her own. Rebecca is a target member of Slimming World and is a vegetarian, so it's actually quite interesting, I find it interesting anyway, to watch how somebody works this plan and has lost all the weight to get to target as a vegetarian. So I want to give a shout out to Rebecca and ask anybody who watches this video, please, will you give Rebecca a look? And if you like what you see, will you subscribe? Because she's nice and she's encouraging. And she talks a lot about eating healthy food as a vegetarian. So she obviously doesn't just live on cheese like I used to when I was a fat vegetarian. I think I was a 20 stone vegetarian at one point, which doesn't really sound very good to say, but I didn't do it properly. So yeah, please give Rebecca a watch, and if you like what you see, please subscribe to her, follow her. Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. So what am I going to do next week? Do I have a plan for next week? Oh no, isn't it? I've got something to show you. Had a conversation by comment this week on a channel for a couple called Lisa and Rufus, Beyond Authentic.
Lean back a bit, your head's massive.
Sorry. Lisa and Rufus, Beyond Authentic. They vlog for their Slimming World journey and their transgender journey, and it's really interesting. And they're really nice people. They were using an Rude Health almond drink. We say almond milk, there's no such thing as almond milk because it don't come from a dairy animal, it's almond drink. They were using Rude Health, and we'd fallen foul of this in the past, and I asked Joe to check on the app because I knew that it wasn't a Healthy Extra A and that it was high in SINs. When Joe actually checked it, it came out that it's actually 30 SINs for a litre. So if anybody's actually using that, and you know in the main book we use it says 1 litre of almond drink unsweetened is a Healthy Extra A. Well, it isn't. In fact, in very few cases it qualifies. The Rude Health one is a good one. It's a good version, but it's 30 SINs for a litre. So if you were counting that as a Healthy Extra and having a litre a day, you would be going 24 SINs over a day. And 24 times 7 is a lot. I can't work it out in my head. I'm not prepared to work it out that quickly. Can't talk and add up at the same time.
168.
So you could go over by 168 SINs. What we've found, that the one that we're going to use, and this is Pip and Nut, which is quite a newish company. This one is 20 calories for 100 mils, so that works out at 10 SINs for the litre. But I think it's not a Hex B, I think it's too new, it might be eventually, but 600 mils of that would constitute a Hex A. If you've got to have almond milk, it's one of the best ones on the market because it is just water, 3% almonds and sea salt. If you read the labels on most of the others, they've got some very queer ingredients, very strange preservatives and some gums and additives and Lord knows what. Some of them are even some very strange sweetener products. But yeah, this is a new one that we're moving to, although I'm a fan of goat milk. Joe can't have cow's milk, so I'm going to try that. That's £2 currently in Sainsbury's. Plan for the week, I'm going to do what I did last week because I loved it. See where it takes me. I'm down to 9 stone 2. That is still well within the bounds of being healthy. My BMI is about 23.5 or something, which is spot on. Should be perfectly healthy is around 23 according to my doctor. So yeah, I mean, I'm well within the boundaries of the weight thing because I think for my height it's something like 7 stone 11 to 9 stone 10, something like that, 9 stone 2. I'm sure all that £1.5 came off my belly this week. I'm not trying to lose any more next week, but I'm going to stick at 15 SINs and 4 Healthy Extras, see where I go. Had a fantastic week, feeling on top of the world, and yeah, can't complain at all. So I hope you all have a good week. We'll be doing lots this week. Joe's got a really busy week this week. And remember, it works if you work it. Pardon me, that was bad timing. You won't if you don't. See you next week. Bye.